Let's take a look at Torch compile. So PyTorch will usually execute line by line. So first do this operation and then this operation. But we can fuse this and remove unnecessary calculations, better memory usage, unnecessary sending around data, so we can just optimize and do this together. So the first step, it's gonna use this Torch dynamo to check all of the operations in the sequence. For example, X fully connected, relo fully connected to, and output Y. So after that has been scanned, it's gonna go to fusing some gradients, computation, preparing both forward and backward pass as one graph. Join our school to become AI researcher, link below the video. And the main part is writing low-level kernels, so GPU kernels, CUDA kernels, for all of these, combining all of these operations into single operation. And then PyTorch will execute this optimized graph, not Python operations, so these CUDA kernels. So let's say we have PyTorch and we have some model which has forward function which is just x plus y. So we instantiate the model and compile it, pass the model here. So we're gonna get compiled model. Then we're just gonna create two tensors and pass it through the compiled model, called the compiled model, and it's supposed to work a lot faster. Now this is already having just one kernel, one operation, so I think this will not work faster at all, because it just has one kernel already, even without compilation. But let's see other examples. For example, loops get unrolled, and now there's gonna be this 3 times, so this is gonna be a lot faster when you compile it, the for loops. Also, there is this autocast mixed precision, so this is gonna use float 16 instead of 32, especially when it's better to use and when there is a lot of loss in the precision downgrade, but a big speed up. And neural networks don't care so much about precision downgrade. And there is even BF16, which is even better for neural networks. So keep the model static when possible. Don't use if and don't use for variable amount of times. So for range 3 it's good because it knows that it's always going to be 3 times, so it can compile this graph, create this graph. But if you do some random number or dependent variable, it cannot compile this graph, so it's gonna split the graph here. You can actually export the graph and see it yourself by saying dynamo.export, and then you're gonna see something like this, the graph of, let's say, this model. When you are debugging and profiling, you can use this Python's time. So normal model, start time.time, do the model, and then just gonna subtract current time minus start time. We're gonna do the same here and then measure. Also, Torch has its own profiler that you can import and use in this way. Some important things is you need to be using fixed shapes, predictable fixed shapes when possible, so not random shapes, but fixed shapes. So when you have compiled model, you're actually also going to use autocast to use float 16. So autocast and whatever, this is just maybe GPU or CPU, which is going to be CUDA here, GPU, and we then call the model. So because we have this with autocast, it's going to cast this model into float 16. You may also avoid Python loops like this and use vectorized loops like this, or vectorized operations. That's it. Join our school, especially premium mode has so many new courses and videos, and see you in the next video. Also the community that you can join here. So see you in the school. Link below the video.